Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit. Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
Coming up, Leo's back, and I have some new apps to show him.
Yeah, and the iPad, too. It's coming next week. The rumors are swirling. We've got some of them for you. And if you've always wanted to be an animator, I've got just the app cap for you.
All that and bunnies on iPad today.
What was that?
A bunny.
That was a bunny? iPad Today is brought to you by Squarespace.com, the fast and easy way to publish a high-quality website or blog. For a free 14-day trial, go to squarespace.com/iPad Today. Yes, it's iPad Today, episode 34.
34, you know, that's my age.
I was gonna say we're now as old as Sarah, and then I thought, well, that wouldn't be a gentlemanly thing to do.
No, it's okay.
You don't mind revealing it. Well, when you're 34, you should reveal it. I mean, that's not old.
People who, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. Come on.
I know.
Then people just want to know more. What do you weigh? What's that? What do I weigh?
Never mind.
About 105.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
I'm more than two of you.
Well,
that's bizarre.
You're also twice my height, so it makes sense.
That's right. Many people don't know Sarah's only 2'4".
It's true. I'm very small. I'm a pocket lady. I'm a little pocket lady.
We were playing. It was so much fun. We were over at the new studio playing with the new set, and Sarah is the first person to have a part of the set named after you. It's the Little Bit set.
I didn't know that was my nickname, but I like it.
Little Bit. It's where Lil Bit's going to do her little bits. Lil Bit?
Is it Lil Bit?
You're Lil Bit.
Apostrophe L-I-L Bit?
You're Lil Bit.
I'm Lil Bit.
And that set is the Lil Bit set.
What's Tom? Dour man?
Cranky? No, he's in the newsroom.
Oh, yeah. He's going to start wearing blazers. You know. By the way, this is so off topic. I don't even know how to get into it. There's no segue possible, but I did hear on my drive up here today on NPR during Talk of the Nation, Ted Koppel calling Gaddafi a whack job, which it is true.
Isn't it time it was said, though, that we just said it?
That's what I thought. I thought,
just admit it.
Kudos to Ted Koppel because he's got that voice.
Right.
And, he is a certified whack job and always has been. I got
but Ted doesn't do a show anymore. I mean, he can do anything. He can say anything he wants.
No, he just calls into Talk of the Nation a lot.
Right.
I think he and
but
Neil
he's no
Conan
longer
are buddies.
Mr. Nightline or anything.
They always say Ted Koppel calling from his home in Maryland.
Yeah, his retirement home.
He's ready to go.
I think the world of him. And he was the guy who very famously never revealed his politics. He said he called it the Vanna White effect. He said if you don't tell people what you are, they project upon you what they believe. And so everybody loves Vanna White because she's a non-entity. She's a blank canvas.
Right.
And he said, I don't tell anybody anything about myself because that way nobody's going to say, oh, that Ted Koppel, they don't know. So they just presume you're like them. That's his secret to success. That and the hair.
Well, but then some of the folks that are very on one side or the other have their own kind of
changed.
Success.
It's completely changed. Now you have MSNBC and you've got Fox, and they're both very opinionated. Even CNN is kind of starting to become very opinionated. Speaking of which, boy, I was watching CNN on the cruise because that Egypt thing was amazing.
Oh,
the
my
revolution
gosh.
in Egypt.
How
we
weird
were
that you
to
were not, you were just in a very odd situation given all that's happened in the last 3 weeks to have been on a cruise and away from home, and you're getting your news in different ways. You're watching CNN International.
They give you on the boat, they give you on the boat a Times Digest, but it's like 4 pages. So it's not like you're completely out of touch, but it's nothing in depth. Fortunately, they have, on the TV system in the boat, they have CNN International, as you say. So it was kind of amazing. I mean, here I am, I'm in the Chilean fjords, and it's gorgeous. We're sailing by these amazing glaciers, and so I'm looking out the window. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see what's happening with Mubarak. Okay. Right. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience. It was a lot of fun. You've been down there, Patagonia.
I haven't been that far south, actually. I have not been to Patagonia.
It's wilderness, It's gorgeous.
I'd love to go. Yeah. I'd love to go.
Yeah, I really
South America's, it's huge. And when you get there and you see a bunch of places, you realize how much bigger it is than you even thought it was.
Well, it's like North America. It's a big continent with a huge variety. Right. There's deserts, plains, mountains, lakes, rivers, jungles, beaches. It's everything. Yeah. And when you sail around it, as I did, I mean, literally sailed from Argentina all the way around Cape Horn, all the way back up to Valparaiso in Chile. I mean, I sailed around half of it. You really see all of it. It's it was a really great trip, really fun trip.
We
did anything happen while I was?
No. I mean, politically, yes, but
nothing in the iPad world.
Well, no, actually, a lot of things happen in the iPad world. It's as you know, each week a lot of things come out. There are quite a bit of rumors swirling around what may or may not happen next week.
Well, we know for sure that there is a Apple announcement March 2nd, Wednesday. We will cover it live.
Right.
We haven't decided yet, but I think, Sarah, you'll be at the event in San Francisco with Andy and Notco.
Sounds good to me.
Tom Merritt and I will be up here in our studio, so tune in at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Because the invitation that went out, there was a little peel back in the upper right-hand corner. I'm sure MG got one.
Oh, yeah.
And it had an iPad behind it. So we know it's iPad 2 that's going to be announced.
It has to be. That's what it is. It's all, for the most part, until these MacBooks came out and there started to be some light peak rumors, I'm starting to hear some more light peak rumors.
Isn't that funny?
Bubbling back up to the surface about the iPad.
I thought it was very strange. I thought that the rumor was also that today's, which, by the way, happy birthday, Steve Jobs. His birthday today.
Is it?
February 24th.
Happy birthday,
as
Steve.
We record this.
I'm still waiting for my my invitation. I'm sure it's in the mail.
To the event?
Yeah.
Or to the birthday party?
Either. Each party.
It's a little late for the birthday party.
Yeah.
But, they said that in this release date for the MacBook Airs, MacBook Pros, new ones came out today, was an homage to Steve and his birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, pretty impressive, and they do include on the mini display port, which is currently on the current crop of MacBooks, just the video port. There also will be Light Peak, which is 10 gigabits per second. And you're saying you're hearing rumors that will be supported by the new iPad?
There have been rumors in the past, and the rumors had kind of cropped up because. And this is something that we've debunked because we say manufacturers of iPad cases do not know what's coming down the pipe any more than we do. However, there were enough of those iPad 2 cases that had been manufactured because they wanted to be first, that were including this somewhat ambiguous, what everyone thought was a USB connector up at the top. Well, as we've all seen, this Thunderbolt / Light Peak, whatever you want to call it, I mean, Thunderbolt is proprietary to Apple, right?
Yeah,
but that's what it is, Light Peak. Is somewhat of a USB size, a little bit smaller, but isn't.
Why would you put it on an iPad?
Well, to make syncing and backup.
Oh, wait a minute! I just thought of
fast.
Something. That for sure, because it's very, very fast.
And backing up can be annoyingly slow.
And it could be a display. It could be a secondary display. We have software. We did it as a PIC that will turn but it's using USB. So actually, it was using Wi-Fi. But imagine if you could turn this into a good. Okay, I'll give you some speculation.
All right,
pure speculation. I know nothing. What if you improve the screen quality? Right now, it's a mere 1024 by 768. What if you make it maybe 1280? What if you make it 1280 by say 800? So it's high def. What if you make it high def quality and you could use it as a little movie player connected by the Light Peak? It could be a second display. I think that might be interesting.
Well, the Light Peak, I mean, the possibilities are somewhat endless. We just have to get all these new devices that have Light Peak
nothing
inputs.
supports it.
But you can use a mini display port. It's just
by the way, Intel is also calling it Thunderbolt.
Really?
So it's not just Apple.
So Thunderbolt's the new thing, because they had their own little event today, right? Yeah, about 10 Pacific.
So
or something
get this,
like that.
according to Intel, with Thunderbolt, you could transfer a full-length high-def movie in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Back up a year of continuous MP3 playback in 10 minutes. In other words, you could fill up that iPad.
Which is sort of like,
quickly.
So what the heck's going on with the USB 3, which is already obsolete?
It's also bi-directional. The iPad could be a touch device for the Macintosh. What about that?
Holy
moly. We're really starting some rumors.
Yeah, we are. But, I mean, why not? Everyone else is. Why can't we?
Anyway, we'll find out March 2nd.
March 2nd.
And we'll cover that live on the Twit Network, and I look forward to it. That was, by the way, that's why we don't get invitations, because it was...
Because we do things like this?
No, it was 1 year ago when they announced the first iPad that Leo made a foolish mistake, and I'll never forgive him for it.
1 year ago today, Leo said...
Leo streamed Steve Jobs' speech from his MacBook Pro.
We've got a picture of it. You're sitting right next to MG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know him then.
Right. Well... He knew you. He was shy, see?
He's very shy.
You're older than him.
No, he was smart.
He respects his elders.
He said, I'm not going to speak to Leo because he's going to get thrown out.
I told you the story that they said, do you know, was he live streaming? And MG said,
They asked him? Oh, well, that confirms. I didn't hear that. So that confirms that
I actually told you that story already.
You did?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
No.
I was probably
That's why you get into trouble.
I was having a cigarette. Yeah, all right, whatever.
I'm fine.
Give me a Boilermaker.
So we'll know soon enough.
Egg.
We're not invited, but we'll still have a fantastic show. You guys watch enough of our live coverage to know that we don't need to be there. It's better this way. It's better to be outsiders because we can be scrappy about things.
So you gave me a week off, which is not. I mean, actually gave me 3 weeks off.
3 weeks.
Thank you to everybody filled in.
Yeah, it was fun to have to have some fill-inners. Ron Richards, Scott Johnson, and MG Siegler all filled in over the last few weeks. If you've missed any of those shows, the dynamic is different with everybody, you know? Nobody can replace Leo, but everybody did a really good job. I'm a woman hater, so, you know, no women allowed as my co-host.
You were a woman hater?
No, I'm not at all.
Didn't you do an all-girls show on Revision 3 called Pop Siren?
Yes. No, I'm not a woman hater.
I mean,
total joke. I am a woman, and I also love myself. It just happened to be that there were 3 men who filled in for you. So I had a couple people say, what's the deal? Does it have to be a man and a woman? No, of course not. It's just the way it went. You know, women, they'll get in there eventually.
Anyway, thank you for filling in. And you're going to give me a little extra time off because you're going to do all 3 of the apps today.
Well, what I thought, because I knew that you had brought your iPad, but that you were obviously very busy.
And I couldn't download anything. We didn't have enough bandwidth for me to install anything new.
That's annoying.
I haven't seen Rupert Murdoch's Daily still.
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh, see,
Is it awesome?
I've already written it off.
Yeah, see? I didn't have to. I skipped it.
Yeah, you're...
I skipped that whole cycle.
Every week I also get mail from folks saying, what is wrong with you? It's so great. So it's my one person's opinion. However, something that you wouldn't have been able to download because it does require a bit of space and they, you know, make sure that you're that you have a Wi-Fi connection is something called iTrivia, which I want to give a shout out to Leslie of the Binary Family because she made sure that you know specifically that this was for you because you had
I did a trivia app last time.
Yes. And this is all trivia about Apple.
Oh, this is going to be hard. Is this from the same company?
Trivia. Yeah, it's the same company.
Because their other stuff is really hard. All right, here we go.
So, you know, this is like 99 cents. So if you're one of these people, in 1998, a year after Steve Jobs' return, Apple introduced this product. A Power Mac.
iMac.
Okay. Ding, ding. Very good, very good. People. In 1995, Steve Jobs became a billionaire when A, the iPod was launched, B, Apple went public, C, the iMac was developed, D, Pixar went public.
D, Alex. What is Pixar went public?
And we'll find out that you were right, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. People who love Apple trivia merged with people who love trivia in general. Love the stuff.
Would have been embarrassing if I couldn't have done these.
What was the processor speed of the first model of the Apple II? A, 5 megahertz, B, 50, C, 1, D, 20.
1.
And with lots of time to spare, and you can go on and on. What about one miscellaneous?
Alex, I pick miscellaneous for 200.
What prize did the iPod win in 2002? The Nobel Prize, the Red Dot Design Award, Oscar, or Apple Design Award? This is a dumb one. Sorry, Binary Family.
C, Oscar. I don't know.
Come on. All right.
It won an Oscar.
You just threw it away. You threw everything away. You know what? You lose. Good day, sir. So you get the idea. This is a fun, like, it's like
I like that stuff. You know, I played the other trivia game in the airport a lot because I was sitting in, you know, waiting rooms a lot. And it was nice to have that.
So this is, again, it's called iTrivia, all about Apple. It's very fun, especially if you've got friends or you're sitting around the table at, you know, Sunday dinner, I don't know, whatever, and you've got people who like trivia and like Apple. This is all fun, and it's very specific. So MG and I had fun with the iTrivia because he's like, you know, he thinks he knows everything about Apple.
He's such a wiseacre. Did he do as well as I did?
Yes, he's pretty good.
He is actually kind of an Apple guy, isn't he?
He's hard to stump. Yes, he is. Anyway, so the next. Well, no, I was gonna say something, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna.
Not gonna go there. I know where you were gonna go, but don't go there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
I know exactly where you were gonna go.
You know what? Battles. To be fought by others.
Don't go there. Don't do
Battle
it.
lines being drawn.
It's not
I'm
your
Switzerland.
battle to fight. You are Switzerland. Little bit Switzerland.
And with a slight bias that no one will see.
It's okay. You lean a little towards the left.
I lean a little towards Swiss chocolate.
Yeah.
And
who doesn't?
I don't know.
App 2.
App 2 is called AppShopper. Now, some of you might think, well, wait a second, didn't you talk about AppShopper? Yes. In fact, Scott Johnson and I talked about AppShopper.com, which, Leo, if you're not familiar with it, is one of the best websites to find out which apps have recently been cut in price, or maybe which app is being offered, like is like 24 hours free or that sort of thing.
Oh, that's excellent.
So I told you all about how exciting this was for me, not realizing there's an app for that, and it's called AppShopper, and it's completely free. And the app is almost, in a way, a little cooler than the website. Not because I've got anything wrong with the website, but the navigation is more iPad-y, right?
Well, and so presumably, if you see an app you like, you just go straight away download it. You don't have to go it'll pull out the iPad.
Exactly. It'll bump you right over to the App Store. So for example, Max Adventure, free, well, it doesn't say what it used to be. Gangster West Coast Hustle HD used to be $4.99. Now it's 99 cents for a limited time. So, this is a good time to get in there.
Rightly so.
And, Prince of Persia, it's cut down to 99 cents from $4.99 as well. So you've got popular, what's new, if you've already sort of gone through the popular area, you can see what apps have been slashed in price. And sometimes it'll, something that was once free that is now more. It's not just about how to save money, it's how the market is going up and down for apps. So that's, it's a really good thing to have, because it's like little insider information. It's not really insider-y, but it just saves you all of the trouble of having to monitor everything in the App Store yourself, which, as anyone knows, is very time-consuming. Yeah. So this is a free app. So it's something that we should all have.
AppShopper.
Finally, Now this one I thought, because you are kind of a bigwig, you run this joint.
My wig is big.
Your wig is big, and especially with the new studio, there were. I
gotta talk to you about this. You sent me an email calling me boss, and now you're saying I'm a bigwig. Holy cow! Holy cow! Have we known each other long enough?
Am I being buttery? Am I being a little buttery?
You're a little
buttery.
Well,
you are my boss. I don't know. I mean,
no.
What would you want? Would you like me to call you? Hey, subordinate.
Call me Big Bit.
Can you please sign off on these documents?
I'll call you Lil Bit.
You be Big Bit?
And I'll be Big Bit.
Okay.
Or you can call me Papa Bit.
How about Pa Bit?
Pa Bit. No, it's so much like Hobbit. I'll be Papa Bit.
All right. You're Papa Bit. It's just getting weirder by the day.
It
We're like
sure
the Bernstein
is.
Bears.
It's starting to sound a little bit, I don't know, back country, a little Ozark.
A little back country. So
you're going to be saying ain't any day now.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't sound authentic.
Come on, say, I ain't that kind of person.
I ain't that kind of person.
There you go.
Well, but I don't talk like that.
You ain't that kind of person.
Well, anyway, what I am is the kind of person who wants you to be able to sign documents like leases for new studios anywhere you are via your iPad. True. And a way to do this is a little app called SignMyPad, which actually I got as a tip from Sarah Prevet via Twitter, who was one of Amber and my guests a couple weeks ago on Net at Night. She runs Sprouter.
Oh, okay. I like Sprouter.
Yeah, so she's great. And
so you open PDFs with this, and you can sign them.
That's right. And so this is one of these, because the PDFs are, you kind of assume that they're,
mode,
they look like a, so here's a PDF that I had just emailed to myself. This is a document that I made that says, I hereby vow to sign a document on iPad today in order to show off how SignMyPad works. With warm regards,
well, you better sign that.
Twit Badass. Right. So I say,
Twit
okay,
badass.
well, what do I want to add here? Now, I've already, within the doc itself, I added a little X, and some underscores, but I could add that here, like adding a checkbox. But let's just say I just want to add a signature. So I just say signature, and down here, I'm not actually right-handed, so my signature is going to look crappy.
Oh, that's
But there's my signature, and then I can move it.
Oh, hey, this is
the
great.
Appropriate
this is very nicely
place.
done.
Yeah.
That's very elegant.
And then, so I just menu, I save it, I email it off, and that's the end of that.
$3.99.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I think that's actually a really clever app, especially if you're in real estate or you sign a lot of documents. That would be very handy to have.
This is the sort of app that if you're not signing a lot, I mean, if you're not ready to, kick a fax machine in the face because you're always having to get stuff, sign it, and then fax it back and things like that.
Faxes are still around.
The only reason, it doesn't happen in my life that often, but when it does, it's very annoying. This is just a way to circumvent that. And if you do it regularly, I mean, if you're the kind of person who's signing things, if it's not SignMyPad, it's got to be something like this. So this is SignMyPad. Again, $4. Works well, at least in my experience. And, you've seen what it does. It does it fine. And you don't even have to own a pen, really. Because who wants pens
Just a finger.
anymore?
If you've got a finger.
If you've got a finger, you can sign for it. If you want the links to all these apps, new apps to Leo, and hopefully new to you guys, too.
New to me, you bet.
Please visit us at twit.tv/IPT. That's our show archive. So it's not just the links for this show, but for shows in the past as well. By the way, Alex, our wonderful intern who does so many things, has taken the task on recently of just trying to clean up the show notes area a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because we've got community volunteers who help out a lot in that arena, but every so often we'll kind of go off on tangents, and it's a lot to ask of some of them to keep up with the mind of mad people, mad people's mind.
Yep.
So Alex has generously taken on some of that task. So because I get emails from you sometimes, it's like, what was that link? And it's not in the show notes. And that's true. We haven't been as good as we could have been up until now. So they're getting better. So thank you for your input on that. Subscribe to the show. Also, twit.tv/IPT is where you can do that. And a quick reminder, if you're watching live, you already know when we're live. If you're not watching live, we record the show live on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific.
That's a trick. 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, something like that. You said it's close to that.
I said, did I not say that?
You said 4.
Oh, 4? No, it's not 4.
4:30. It's not even really 1:30. It's like when we get around to it sometime after.
Eastern, we're not doing the show yet. We're eating.
Right. It's sometime between 1:30 and 2:30 we'll start.
But I think some of you wish we would start on time. But for those of you who do tune in at 1:30 Pacific, you get to hear all sorts of weird things that get cut out of the show that when you subscribe to, you won't see afterwards. So you can. It's a trade-off, right? You watch a show later. There's some URLs, and we add some bells and whistles that aren't in the live version.
Can I just say, this isn't freaking ABC. This isn't CNN. We're just a couple of people sitting around.
We're just a couple of friends having a good time.
We're just jawboning, and sometimes we do a show.
Yeah.
Well, we usually do a show, but sometimes we start it on time.
We always do a show. The kind of show you're going to get.
Sometimes we forget to record the show, but we do a show anyway.
Oh, please say that wasn't something that happened today.
You want to start over? No, I'm recording.
Oh, thank you.
I'm recording.
You just needed a little vacay.
I was spaced out from lack of sleep.
It's true. And too much starch. Apparently.
Too much starch.
It goes right to your head.
I was at 11,000 feet in Cusco. Did you go to Cusco? Oh, no, you didn't go to Machu Picchu.
No.
Cusco,
I haven't been there yet.
Cusco, Peru is the ancient capital of the Incas.
I said Peru. Mayans earlier.
No, it's Incas.
It's Guatemala.
Well, you got your Aztecs, you got your Mayans, you got your Incans, but the Incans are in Peru. They're the ones who built Machu Picchu. You go to Cusco, it's 11,000 feet. Wonderful old hotel. It's a 15th century or 16th century hotel. Used to be a seminary. We ate in the refectory, and there's got a chapel. It's beautiful. They've got monks going. Well, it's a recording. Bells ringing. But you arrive in the beautiful. It's called the hotel's the Monasterio. Ooh. You arrive at the Monasterio, the beautiful reception lobby. You know what they hand you right away, immediately, to relieve your altitude sickness? Because you're at 11,000 feet.
Latte.
A cup of coca leaf tea.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good. I don't think it's psychoactive. It's just but delicious tea.
Right.
It's like green tea. You would love it.
I bet I would.
We wanted to bring some back, but we were informed that would be not okay.
Yeah, you chew on the cocoa leaves.
We also did that. I got a wad and I put it between the cheek and gum.
Did you want to talk a lot?
It didn't even make my tongue numb. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was a eucalyptus leaf, and I just, and there's coca candy, coca cookies.
Wow.
And they told me they had oxygen, but I didn't find any of that. So we're going to get back to more. We've got the iPad news and, of course, our app caps and a great app cap we will be wearing. But first, let me tell you about our sponsor of the day today, Squarespace.com, the secret behind exceptional websites. If you go to squarespace.com/, is it iPad, Sarah? Do you know?
Yes, it's iPad Today. Squarespace.com/iPad Today.
You'll see a big green button there. It says try it for free. No credit card needed. You get 2 weeks. Now, I got to tell you, people say, oh, I have Facebook. Oh, I have Flickr. I have YouTube. I have Twitter. I don't need a web page. No.
Untrue.
No, untrue. You got it. It's the minimum requirement to exist on the net is you have to have a web page because you control it. And Squarespace, it makes it so easy. Just go there and try it for 2 weeks and see. If you have an existing site, you can import all your content over. It supports all the big APIs like Movable Type, WordPress, TypePad, and Blogger. You can also integrate. I know you got a Facebook and a Twitter and all that, but that's no problem. It just integrates right in with these social widgets. There's the Flickr widget. Isn't
there's
that great?
Stephanie Chu.
Yeah.
She works at Revision 3.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
And you see, use your sliders, drag and drop. You can have a slideshow. You can have a thumbnail view. There's your Twitter widget. There's even RSS widgets, so you could put anything. For instance, you could put all of our shows in there. Use our RSS feed. So that's just one of many features on here. Take the tour at squarespace.com and sign up for a free account. It is a great way to create a website. You ought to have one. It's hosting plus software to make it easy. Look at the examples, too, to see some of the cool stuff people are doing.
I know. I have a really nice Squarespace blog, but then I look at other people's blogs and I go, well, theirs is really good. Grass is always greener.
You got blog envy. Yeah.
I've got blog envy, but it just goes to show you that there's a lot you can do with Squarespace.
If you go to squarespace.com and set up that blog, you will never have blog envy because you will have a beautiful blog. Sarah, you have a beautiful blog.
I know. I've got nothing to complain about.
No reason for blog
it's
envy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's just that you get a sense of what it might look like.
Oh, it's incredible.
If you just changed gears, because Squarespace blogs can be all sorts of different blogs. And, blog is such a, it's kind of almost like a dinosaur term at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not a blog. It could be a blog, but it could be so much more.
It could be all sorts of things.
In fact, you'll see here in the examples, they've got blogs, business, design and art, e-commerce, food and drink, health and wellness, media and publishing, music, nonprofit, photographies, portfolios. A lot of artists use it because it's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. You can do it too. Squarespace.com/iPad Today. We thank them for their support of iPad Today.
Thanks, Squarespace. You're the best.
You're the best.
We already talked a little bit about the iPad 2 event that will be happening next Wednesday.
That's the big news,
That's March
really.
2nd.
There's no bigger news.
iPad 2 on 3/2.
What do you think?
What do you mean? Oh,
well,
what do I think?
I've said
am
some crazy things.
You've said some crazy things like, I never use my iPad anymore.
No.
You
said some. No, I said some crazy things.
Well, you have said that.
I never said it bores me. I did bring this on the cruise, and I you know what? I use the Air because for what I do, typing and everything, it's just more useful.
Right.
But I have to say, doing presentations, if you do it in Keynote on the Mac and then you transfer it over to Keynote on iPad, is spectacular. It's just a great way to do presentations. I really enjoy it. So no, I love the iPad. I just think it's for some purposes it's better than for everything. I wouldn't want to. People keep talking about replacing their notebooks with an iPad. I would never do that.
Yeah, I was just having this conversation last night. I do a monthly potluck with a bunch of great friends of mine who are not real techies. Mm-hmm. And nobody has an iPad, and they're always saying, so is it the new computer? And I always say, no, it's not.
It's something different.
It's hard to explain. It's not a smartphone. It's not a computer. Does a lot of, it's a hybrid of both, I guess, but it's a different beast altogether.
So, well, we were talking about presentations. Let me just show you real quickly. This is a presentation that I did on the future of work. This is Keynote on the iPad, and it's just so easy to use.
Hello, Donald.
I know. And it really is. It's very visual. It's very graphic. It's very easy to modify these. You can drag them and drop them around. So I have to say, I just love presentations on the iPad. Mm-hmm. So I think for the right thing, there's a lot of the iPad can be very, very powerful. It's just not. It's not everything.
Right
now, what could they do with iPad 2 to make it more? Do you think to make it more appealing? A camera, right? Gotta have a camera.
Definitely.
2 cameras?
Well, so here's the thing is that I know that everyone is somewhat in the agreement that there will be a front facer for FaceTime.
FaceTime.
That's great and fine and good. But imagine using that front-facing camera, which will not be high quality, to actually take a picture. Like, not only is it this cumbersome, weird thing, but then you have to, like, guess where the
The Samsung Galaxy Tab has a front and a back camera, and it is a little weird to take a picture like this, although having the picture show up here before you take it is kind of cool.
But if it's a front-facing camera on the iPad, it's the opposite, and you just have to like guess to where the button is.
I think they need to do both.
You'd need to do both, or just, I mean, if it's going to be a low-quality front-facing camera, then you're asking people not really to use it to take pictures, which is just very annoying. I mean, how many video...
Higher res screen, you think?
Well, they say it won't be a Retina display.
Too expensive.
Yeah,
and it'd drain power.
I've also, and the power, as we, the battery life is really good on the iPad.
I think the one thing I think the camera and thinner, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. Don't expect a revolutionary new product. If you are an iPad owner today, I don't think it will be particularly compelling. You're not going to run out and say, I have to have an iPad 2, unless you read in bed with it. And one of the big complaints, people like Kindles because you can put it in bed and hold it. And if they could get this a little thinner, a little lighter, and I bet they can, that might be enough to move more units, even to existing iPad users. I think if you're a current today iPad user, I don't think you're going to say, oh, I have to have the 2. But now, I might be wrong. Remember, Apple's got to see over their shoulder coming up big, those Android tablets. And they may say, well, this is our last chance to really own this market. What do you do?
Zoom's out today, for starters.
Yeah. What do you do?
Galloping ahead.
And there's going to be the new HP WebOS. There's going to be the BlackBerry Playbook, rather. There's going to be some real challenges to the iPad. And it might be that Apple says maybe they've got something remarkable up their sleeve. But I don't think so. I think it's just going to be a little bit of an evolution.
Thunderbolt. If they come in with Thunderbolt next week, I'll be impressed.
Well,
but then again, it's not like I can use it with anything I have right now. But I'll still be impressed. But I don't think it's going to happen either.
I don't see it.
I don't see either.
I think the key for Apple, and especially when you see the Zoom come out at $800, the key for Apple is you keep that $500 starting price point. It's absolutely vital.
Really quickly, we mentioned the daily, which you are like so out of the loop on, and I've kind of had enough of the daily.
I wish I could try it for free.
Well, you can, Leo. You wouldn't have been able to try it for free because they had this whole Verizon-sponsored trial run that was, a 2-week period. And the whole idea was the daily was they were trying to get people locked in. I need my daily fix, right? And now they've extended the free trial run.
So it's nominally 99 cents
per week. Yes, which turns into about 14 cents a day or $40 a year or something like that.
That's not a lot.
It's affordable. However,
now which one of these I'm looking? Which one of these is the daily? Is that the daily?
On the left. Yes.
So it's free, it's always been free to buy. I mean, to get the app.
Yeah, the app itself is free, of course.
What we're talking about.
The daily is the guinea pig of the App Store's subscription models.
Yeah.
And what I read from the daily extending its free trial run is, number one, they're not making the money that they thought they'd be making. So they want to give people more of a chance to try it before they buy it.
Yeah.
The daily also has been plagued with some technical issues to the point where if you had the daily app installed, you would have a lot of crashes unless you actually deleted the app and reinstalled it, which is asking people a lot. That goes beyond some sort of a bug fix update.
Have to do that.
I did.
Not in this day and age.
I know. So that's part of it. So I understand that they said, listen, it was sort of an unprecedented problem. We've got to give people more time. But I don't think they would have done that if they would have been hitting the margins that they were expecting. I don't see it for the daily. I'm calling it right now.
It's dead?
I don't think it's dead.
Well, show me. Give me a little tour. The gas hole.
All right. So
that is not a good title. I like Whack Job better than Gas Hole.
Yeah, I mean, we've got your table of contents. You've got your whole cover flow thing going on.
We've seen this before. I'm not impressed.
It's so it's like you've got, if you want to like jump over to the gossip area, it's kind of gossipy stuff. They have things like crossword puzzles and Sudoku puzzles that really do emulate the newspapers of yesteryear, I guess you could call them. I mean, they're
Are they easy to fill out? I mean, does it give you a nice user interface?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've heard people say that they like that sort of thing, but I mean, that's not really what. I mean, that's a fun part of a newspaper, but I mean, that's not really why I would buy the daily.
I would. The crossword puzzle is pretty important.
Yeah, well, so in the apps and games area, that's fine. You've got sports, you've got opinion. I have mentioned in the past that if you read a lot of opinion pieces, the daily is either going to appeal to you in the way that it slants, or it's not going to appeal to you.
Right.
You know, so it's like that is part of the deal. It's not going to be this. Well, none of them are, as we were talking about before. It slants in a way that will appeal to some people and not. You can easily post stories to Facebook or links to Facebook and Twitter, but this is really weirdly. I don't know if you even heard the weirdness of it. Is like, okay, so everything is within the daily app. If you don't have the daily app, then you can't read it. Yeah, okay, so what am I emailing to a friend?
You can't.
I'm emailing what's basically an image of the page, so they can read the image. No live links.
That's ridiculous. See, that's what I don't like about it.
It's like it's well thought out, but it's not. It's like well thought out for something that we have already bypassed.
Right. We're better than that.
We are.
We don't need that. We're better than that.
That said, I know that some folks like the daily, so it's not for everybody, but it is an interesting experiment, and I do think that they're going to have to figure out how to sell more of these because they haven't yet. That's the daily.
That's the dealio.
That's the deal. So it's extended, and if you haven't tried it yet, and you were like, the free trial's over.
I'm downloading it right now.
It's not actually. It's been extended. I'm not sure how long. At least another week.
I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot. It's free.
I'll give it a shot. I don't like the idea that you can't link out. To me, in fact, about a year ago, I was reading a newspaper, and I was reading an article that said, oh, I want to send a link to Sarah. Oh, I can't. And I realized I am so now tied into the web way of doing things where I'm reading something. Oh, I got to send this link to Sarah, and I does it, or I've got to put this in my Pinboard account, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I think if you're reading on a digital device and you can't do that, forget it.
And not only that, but if you are reading, let's say you're reading the latest news of Libya, and on a website, on any well-written article, they'll say in our recent coverage we've highlighted this and this, and so you can jump back a few days and make sure that if you're not quite sure what the latest news is, they give you all these references to stories from last week or Wikipedia or whatever. The Daily doesn't have any of that. No live links. No reference. Screw you! Get out of here!
Get out of here, Rupert.
We haven't had a chance because you've been gone to ask you a technical question from one of our viewers. But now that you're back,
couldn't answer them.
Well, I just, you
didn't want to put him on the spot, did you?
It's a softball kind of a situation where you're not around. I'm just trying to get through the show. I'm just trying to get through the show without tears.
Well, this is from a Petaluma person.
Yeah, he went to Casa Grande High School.
Our local high school here.
He didn't say he graduated in 1972, but I assume that's what it meant.
Wow.
He's an alum.
He's my age.
Bob DeMeyer.
I graduated in 73, and you were born in 76, so it's all perfect.
We're all 70s kids in one way or another. It's true.
Can you believe... This is just, I feel so...
I'm a bicentennial baby.
You were born...
I'm the best
3 years
really.
after... You were born 3 years after I graduated from high school. I could be your father, Sarah Lane. In fact, I think I am. Linnell seems so familiar to me.
It would explain a lot.
She seems so familiar to me.
It would explain a lot.
I'm sure I've met her.
Yeah.
No, I'm just...
Well, the 70s were a crazy time.
Crazy time.
So...
Crazy time.
My parents could tell you that for sure.
We all know it.
Bob DeMeyer doesn't really want to hear about any of that stuff, but he does wonder. He says...
Somebody in the chat room just went, ew.
Yeah, so gross. Imagine the two of them related, sharing the same genetics. Blah. Ew. We could think of something grosser, but we won't.
No, we won't.
He said, I thought iPads were solid-state devices without moving hard drives, but the other day my iPad locked up, and there were sounds and vibrations, and it had to feel audio and vibration of a hard drive failure, like a word with rotational feel, periodic clicking, ideas. What is going on in there? What are actually the iPad internals? I've never experienced any of this stuff.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but when we got the iPad, when we first got the iPad, we had our friend in here from iPhone Repair. And he took it apart for us.
I do remember that.
And I'll tell you what it looks like. You want to see what an iPad looks like inside? There's no moving parts in here. No, that's not it. It looks like space. There it is. Most of it is battery. That's the battery right there. This little tiny board, that's where all the logic is. That's where your hard drive, your storage is flash storage. That's where your CPU is, all the support cards, everything. The rest of it is basically screen, battery, case. There's no moving parts. Sorry.
You know, I don't want to treat Bob as if he doesn't know what's going on, but I mean, is it possible that he had some like crazy game downloaded that was running in the background or something? That was making noise and
could be
vibrating?
I think more that Bob was so upset that his iPad was not functioning that he was actually starting to shake.
Oh, he was shaking.
It was him.
Right. Bob, you might want to get that looked at. Your anxiety levels are through the roof.
Yeah.
Well, you're from Petaluma, so I don't blame you. It's an anxious town in general. You know, a lot going on here. It's hard to slow down. So, Bob, there aren't any moving parts. It really is solid state. Just, you know, maybe.
Sarah, I'm going to take you to task.
Okay.
For iPad cruelty. I came across this on your Flickr feed the other day, and I was shocked
and appalled
to see, warning, iPad needs to cool down before you can use it.
Let me tell you guys how I had arrived at this error. By the way, that's a screenshot that I took of my iPad. So I went to Florida last weekend, the Palm Beach area. It's very nice this time of year. Really nice.
Did he grow up in West Palm Beach?
He's from Cleveland. They just do the shuffle in the winter now. Right. They're Midwesterners. Love Florida.
Okay.
So we're sitting out by the pool. It's high 70s. It's great. And I'm reading my iPad, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, I sure wish the iPad 2 had some sort of glare fix, because you can't read it when it's outside at all.
No.
It's impossible. Even if you're in the shade, if there's any sort of sunlight, it's not good on your eyes.
It was interesting for me to see on the cruise how many people had Kindles when they went out by the pool, and they didn't bring their iPads. For
Amazon has a commercial about that very thing, or maybe it might be the Nook commercial, but it's about how iPads are bad.
Yeah, it's a Kindle commercial. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that, and I'm mumbling and grumbling to myself, not realizing that the iPad is getting hotter and hotter in my hot little hands, to the point where I finally get the temperature error. So the moral of the story is, if you cook your little baby,
don't take it out in the sun.
Then eventually it will shut down and say, your iPad's too hot and you're a terrible person and you probably shouldn't procreate. So lesson learned, and now you know.
You know, sometimes my iPad says I'm too hot, but that's its own personal issue.
You're so good looking. You're so good looking.
I'm just hot.
Leo, as you know, as you're well aware, we like to feature some
cats.
Of our iPads.
Don't tell me you got a cat. No more cats.
I don't have a cat because I care so much about you and the fact that you seem to be very against a koala.
I threw a koala at you.
I'm an animal lover of all kinds.
Well, you don't care.
It just so happens that the cat army sends me a lot of cat pictures, except this week, because Buzz the Bunny is our iPad Today Star of the Week.
Excuse me, that's Buzz the Devil Bunny.
That's Buzz the Devil Bunny.
He's looking at you and his eyes are turning red.
You know, the devils like me a lot. That's cool. I mean, a fan is a fan, right?
She makes my nose quiver.
It's fine. I have no problem with that. No, of course, I saw this picture, and sometimes I think, as cute as Buzz the Bunny is, sometimes these pictures seem a little set up. I didn't really believe that Buzz was like actually watching me.
Placed the bunny in front.
Except Buzz's owner sent me a YouTube video of Buzz actually in motion,
to like
watching Scott Johnson and I on last week's show to prove that he is obsessed with us. He loves us. See, there's Buzz.
MG.
No, that's Scott Johnson.
Okay.
Scott Johnson in Utah. And there's Buzz, transfixed.
I think that's the bunny that attacked Jimmy Carter.
Mesmerized.
That's a scary-ass bunny.
I feel like we've really got some advertising opportunities here. I mean, because you know how bunnies mate. I mean, there's a ton of them. Ton of them. Look at me. I mean, I'm just rattling on and on.
He actually likes it? Is that what he said? He actually, like, does he seek it out?
Buzz loves us. So that
great.
Was...
wow.
It was.
I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't just seen it with my own two eyes.
Tell me about it. I mean, I don't know why humans listen to me half the time, but bunnies are fans. So thank you.
Oh, somebody wants to talk to us.
Oh yeah. So this is our viewer Kate Cavalcanti, who's written in several times before.
Hi, Kate.
We love Kate, and she actually sent in a video question, so we might as well just let her take it away.
Hello, Leo and Sarah. I was hoping you guys would be able to review something on iPad Today for me. It's the OtterBox utility latch for the iPad, because it's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't seen a good review for it. It's like a hand strap, a necklace lanyard. You can strap it to the back seat of your car so you can watch it on the headrest. And I just want to know if I should get it or not because I have the OtterBox Defender on my iPad right now, and I'm finding myself in sort of a dilemma with holding my iPad right now.
Kate.
Thanks.
What happened? So there's a link to the OtterBox Utility Series latch that she referenced.
Yeah, because I don't know this one, but I do like OtterBox. I think they make great stuff.
Well, and she's already got the Defender, which is like a $80.
They're really tough cases.
Yeah, they're like for mountain climbers.
Right,
And in fact, if you go to OtterBox's website, they have all these like extreme videos of people like with their iPad like as they're climbing mountains and things like that. So this is the OtterBox Utility Series latch.
And this has all, just like the other ones, this has...
It's not lunchtime anymore, by the way.
What?
The lower third. We're not eating lunch
anymore. That thing keeps popping up on me.
That's all right.
I don't know why.
Yeah, so this is... I mean, look at this thing. It's like so you can kind of like strap it on when you're out in the go. It's like around the neck strap. You've got the hand strap, which I think
she had obviously burned herself or something. So
look,
you can even strap
it to the back of the car.
That's good for the kids.
You can hang it off. I mean, again, it's like this is not something that I would need. But if you're on site, I guess somewhere, and you're using CAD software or whatever, it seems like a very rugged solution. It's $50, and I would kind of caution anybody against getting a case before next week just to make sure you know
things might change.
What you're working with.
Things might change, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it looks cool. We haven't had an opportunity to test out the Utility Series, Kate. And OtterBox, as far as I know, was not present at CES or Macworld. I didn't see them. Leo, I don't think you did either.
No, but there were so many accessory folks there.
So many, yeah. And
it could easily been they were there.
It's
and
possible that we missed them. I did a pretty good sweep, especially at Macworld. But
did you? Yeah.
The stuff looks good. If you already have an OtterBox product and you're happy with it, and you're looking for something that's a little bit more all-in-one, that's rugged and can take with you on the go, especially if you've got a bum hand right now, it might be a good call. And I mean, $50 is pretty standard, it seems like. I mean, iPad cases just aren't that cheap right now, I think, because somebody, there's a price point and everybody can jump up to that. I mean, my Dodo case is $50 that I ran over at the gym.
But you know what? You're glad because that Dodo case protected nothing.
That's true.
If it had something in it, though, it would have protected it.
Yeah.
There was nothing in it.
No, yeah, I mean, it didn't cut too deep. It cuts like a knife. No, it's all right. I mean, this is also the only case I've used since day one, literally day one of my iPad. So it's held up pretty well, and it was user error on my part. It wasn't that the Dodo case fell apart. So Kate, hopefully we've given you at least a little of a push one way or another. Of course, as I always say every week, we want to hear from you guys because you guys are awesome. Bunnies, humans, anything in between, all good.
We love it.
At iPad Today at twit.tv. Love reading your emails, and you guys are always really good, too, about letting me know if something doesn't look right on the website or we're missing a link here and there. Please keep that stuff coming because you help us help you. If you want to leave us a voicemail.
We're just basically major screw-ups, so if you don't tell us, we won't know.
No, we won't know, and we won't do anything about it, and we'll just sit around eating bonbons.
We reserve the right to continue to eat bonbons and not do anything.
Yeah, that's not going to change.
No.
But we might fix a link here and there.
We might.
757-504 IPAD is our Google Voice number. But for extra points,
yes,
send us a video like Kate did.
We do like that.
I told Kate because I wrote her back saying, good question. Let me look into it. I loved her glasses. She had like red rims. They were really cute.
That bunny could have used that.
I wish I wore glasses so I could get on the glasses train.
It's App Cap time! Here's the leader of the club that's made for you and me. IPADATTOEY, iPad Today.
iPad Today.
iPad Today.
iPad
Sarah
Today.
Lane.
It's Sarah.
Welcome to the Mouse Club.
Thanks.
Actually, I should turn mine around. Well, I think you're wearing it backwards.
Well, but I wanted everyone to see that it was a personalized.
Right. See, if I put my head in the shot.
It was a personalized, Leo. Oh, yeah, look. All right. There you go.
A little fuzzy.
It says Leo. This is from Matt.
Thank you, Matt. He works at Disney.
Matt KC1, I assume, is his IRC name. And he works at Disney. And he sent us
my whole life.
Matt Conover.
I went, Matt Conover.
Yeah, he sent us a little note.
Oh, I know. I think I know Matt Conover.
I have never, I am wearing this backwards, but I think it's so cool.
I want to see the name.
We've got our engraved names.
Like the Musketeers.
Yeah, we are.
So app caps are our picks of the week, our favorite apps of the week, and I'm going to let you start.
Yes, my app cap started out as a Mac or Windows application, free, called Wunderlist or Wunderlist, if you're not into the whole German thing. And a lot of folks said, ooh, this is a great, if you're a GTD, if you're a getting things done person, this is a free solution, desktop application, not OS specific. Well, I mean, at least it's Windows and Mac. So, and people really liked it. Well, I hadn't really gotten around to downloading it and playing around with it. And I thought, well, I've got Evernote and I've got a variety of other little very disorganized ways that I run my life, so I don't really need it. However, when Wunderlist came out with their iPhone app, then my friends started to talk about how great it was because it's simple. Simple and free. And free is kind of the key word here because there are a lot of really good organizational apps. And by the way, I know that you guys are always asking about organizational note-taking type apps. So they're always on my radar, but rarely are the really good ones totally free. Now, as of yesterday, so as of February 23rd, Wunderlist HD is now an iPad app. So it's iPad specific. So if you open it up, let me show you how simple it is. And by the way, it's got a really nice background. It kind of almost has like an iBooks type background.
It's got that wood grain.
It's got that wood grain, which you can change if you so desire. So if you don't like it, you have customizing options. But for the most part, this is what you do. So I've got the desktop app installed now on OS X on my MacBook. Now I've got Wunderlist HD on my iPad. Everything's free, and they're syncing with each other. So it's kind of like, it's like your mobile me, or, you can think of it that way, or Dropbox, I guess, but more for notes. So, for example, I gave myself a reminder here that I have to go to the bank and deposit some checks, right? And I can add that there's, what's the note? What were those checks? Oh, it's my non-existent lottery money. Right. Those are the checks that I have to deposit. It's very important. I can assign a date to it, a due date, or certain reminders. I can add it to a specific kind of list, like inbox is the Wunderlist list that is the default that it just dumps everything into. But I've also started a grocery list over here. I have to remind myself to buy eggs because I also like eggs as well, Leo.
I like eggs as well.
So this is there's a certain amount of organization involved, but for the most part, you get it. You make lists of things that you need to do. You organize them into categories. You give yourself reminders. You've got little start options, so I can star certain things that have precedent. I've got a little alerts option for when I've missed a due date. It's like, oh my gosh, rent, shoot, that was supposed to be 2 days ago. This is really important that I do this now. So it's smart enough to give you some options of, what's overdue and when things should be happening. You have a variety of settings. You can, check to make sure that everything that's supposed to be done in the next week is done, this and that. But the best part of it really is that I can sync back and forth between my Wunderlists on my variety of devices. So my iPhone, my iPad, and OS X. I mean, those are the 3 computers that I use. They have an Android app in the works. And again,
that's good.
And they have a Windows app that's live and people like really well. And, let's just say that maybe I've made a to-do list and I want to send it to my mom. Like, here's my to-do list. Use Wunderlist for all of my to-do stuff.
You can share it?
Yeah, well, I can email her the list, or I can invite her to Wunderlist so that she can also be a collaborator. So I can assign folks as a group.
I might have to get this because then you could tell me what to do. I have a feeling you want me to get this.
I would love that.
I'm thinking if
I could tell Leo what to do,
you would just send me tasks.
How life, rainbows and unicorns. That's all I can see.
I'll do it.
So this is the
look.
It can be a personal task.
I'm downloading it right now. Wunderlist.
Yeah, it's free. That's the thing about it that I love so much is that this thing looks nice. It works really well. I've synced back and forth. I tried to stump it, and I couldn't see any glaring bugs. It works really well. You can collaborate with folks if you so desire. You can also send them is kind of static links just to give them information. If your mom's never going to download this, it's fine. She can still get a certain amount of information, and it looks really good. And it's a task manager that if you're looking for something new or you don't like what you're using now, it's really simple. And I know for someone like me, simple is better because if I have too many options, I just don't use it.
Bad.
So that's me. Leo, what is your app cap?
Did you ever, when you were in school?
No.
Never?
I didn't go to school.
Not once?
No, I grew up on a river.
A beet farm.
Yeah.
When you were in school, did you ever take a book and draw a picture and then flip the page, draw another picture that's slightly different, flip the page, and then you flip the book and you've like got you could have a Mickey Mouse drawing.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that. Yeah. I did that a lot. I guess we had a lot of free time in school. If you've always thought, oh, I wish I would like to do animation. This is an interesting program. Just came out. It's not very expensive. It's called Animation Desk for the iPad. Just 99 cents right now because it's on sale. Now I don't know if that sale is going to last much longer. They say 24 hours. But the idea, and I'm going to show the screenshots from the website because
they're talented.
I am not an artist.
No, that's for sure.
So there are a lot of drawing apps, and we've certainly highlighted a lot of drawing apps on the Mac. But this will show you and help you make animations on the Mac. And it's just, I have to say, it's just a beautiful, here's the drawer. You've got your paint brushes. You could paint something on here. And, you know, if you're not real sophisticated, you could still do the same kind of stuff.
Yeah, you are good.
Let me put the ears on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I see myself for sure. Yeah, that's my nose. It looks just like wow.
And then you can go to the next page, and the next page, and the next page, and then you can. And it has you know, transparency, which is nice. So you know, like the onion skin and all that stuff. This is so you make sure you change it
just slightly.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
Now, which means you don't have to be a great artist. You just have to be able to kind of duplicate. But if you were an artist, this would be pretty amazing. And don't you think the UI is gorgeous?
It's really nice.
I think they've just done a beautiful job of this. And of course, you get if you want the simple look, you can do that. Animation Desk, 99 cents. I thought because it's on sale today, rush out and get it. It was just updated a couple of days ago.
I like it.
And 5-star ratings all across the board from people who use it. So,
you know, when Scott Johnson was on the show last week, he's a big
He would have loved this.
He would have loved it, and I have to assume he probably knows about Animation Desk. But if he doesn't, it's perfect for somebody who draws a lot and has a lot of talent and wants to make something move in that old school sort of way.
I wish he were here right now. Because I don't have any talent.
Well, me either.
Animation.
But you guys get the idea. That's cool. 99 cents. It looks like an app that's more than 99 cents.
Yeah,
you know, they probably could have gotten away with $2.99. Well, I guess it's probably usually more than 99 cents, which is why this is the time. Yep. Leo, now it's time to say goodbye to all the family. TWI. See you real soon. Why? Because we're late.
But yeah, okay, we're going to wrap it up. Tom Merritt's coming up with TNT. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday. We'll have a lot to talk about with a new iPad 2. And meanwhile, to have some fun playing us out, we thank Leo for this.
We do?
What's his name?
Oh, Alex Leo.
Alex Leo.
Alex Leo is playing us out with our goodbye video. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week on iPad Today.
Do anything with fondant. I love it that he's doing like the actual puzzles, you know.
I think the parents enjoyed this more than the kids did.
Oh yeah, the kids had no idea what that was.
The kids are like, oh,
maybe they played the game.
Sugar.
Would you want to eat this?
Why, yes. So. Is it made of sugar?
Look at those.
Then the answer is yes.
Oh, this is so cool. I hope they have a slingshot.
Oh,
they do. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. I hope the kid gets to fire a bird. He's got 3 little Tweety birds. Oh, look at bad pigs. Is that not awesome?
It's so cute.
Is that for his 6th birthday?
Sixth birthday, yeah. You'll see the little kid.
You know what? I bet this kid, he'll never forget.
I don't think he quite knew what to make of it.
Oh my goodness.
Is it cool, Ben?
What is that?
What?
That is so amazing.
Let's go.
That's exactly what happens when I play. Oh, he got a pig. This is very sweet. Whoa! Hit Grandma.
Nice one, Ben.
Put it harder. That's it.
Aim it at the
better with an
building.
English accent.
I agree. Why don't we have them?
You can talk like this.
Oh.
Like that.
Sarah, it's time for tea.
Oh, dear. It's
Oh, almost. Let's go again. That's it, like that. Go. Yay! 3, 2, 1, go. A bit higher. Bit higher. Go.
You killed it. You killed the pig. Nice job, Axel.
Happy birthday, dear Ben.
Me too.
Happy birthday to you.
It's a happy
Yay. Cool family.
Now go get a haircut.